All right, Prater in the ball game, KTIK, the ticket. It is a Wednesday. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are ready to go. Boise State, Duquesne at Extra Mile Arena tonight. But Prater, let's get back to football, right? I was just teasing you there.
Let's do it.
We're not doing a full-on basketball. We'll get to it a little bit later during the news, but 208-424-9300, your chance to call on in or shoot us a text. Guys, how hard are you going to be or easy are you going to be? How are you going to be towards Maddox Madson this offseason based on his performance on Saturday? Prater, you know this fan base. I know this fan base. We're getting Greg privy on this fan base. And, you know, some of them need blue ice vodka to have fun. Some of them need blue ice vodka to drown their sorrows away when it comes to Maddox Madson. But I think you agree with me. You have a feeling that, you know, the offseason narrative of Maddox Madson will partly be so because of how he plays in this game, in my opinion. You?
I 100% agree with everything you said there, including the blue ice vodka, except I'm going to take out one word. I'm going to take out the word partly. Like it or not, whether it's fair or not, college football is weird, fandom is crazy, and Maddox Madson's entire offseason, the narrative around his offseason will be defined in a 3.5-hour football game on Saturday night, whether that's fair or not. Maddox Madson is coming off of one of his finer performances, an MVP performance in a championship game. Even then, he still only completed 54% of his passes, didn't get to 300 yards. Didn't have any running numbers. He had a touchdown, that one nice touchdown that created a lot of intangibles for that game that were really, really good.
Okay.
So Maddox Madson's coming off of an MVP performance. And if he comes out Saturday night and beats
Washington Huskies
and their defense and plays a good game, and lo and behold, whether he's MVP or not, Maddox Madson will go into the offseason with a lot of slack, with a lot of people thinking, okay, I think maybe Madson has turned the corner and Madson's going to go off and he's going to face another competition because he's going to be facing a competition starting the first week of January, but he's 2 for 2 when it comes to competitions, maybe 3 for 3. I don't know. He's really good at winning quarterback battles in the offseason. But if he's got this cloud hanging over his head that he couldn't put together back-to-back games and he's going into the offseason with a stinker of a game on Saturday night or going into the offseason with a great MVP type of performance on Saturday, that narrative will carry over for the entire season. Maddox Madson, this entire season, has played 2 games back-to-back where he's played well. He played against New Mexico and he played against UNLV very, very well in those 2 games. Outside of that, it's been good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, the entire season. Maddox Madson, that narrative needs to go away. Maddox Madson needs to play fantastic on Saturday night, and if he does, I think this fan base, which has tried to beat him up hard for the last year, gives him a little bit of love.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I think that a lot of times, for better or for worse, as sports fans, everybody remembers what happened last.
Yep.
And it's that lasting impression that sits with you. And I think that if he lays a clunker here, then it brings back a lot of the early season, South Florida, Notre Dame performances that obviously were far from impressive. And it's unfortunate, but the reality is the Mountain West Championship game, for as well as he played, for as much time as he missed to come back and to play that well and everything that went into that rehab and recovery for Maddox Madson, it was still just one game. And so if he goes out and lays an egg against Washington, then I think we're asking, a lot of fans are asking the same questions heading into the offseason about, well, is this just somebody that plays well at home against lower level competition? And, you have that first game in Eugene next year, and it's all the fanfare that comes with that opener. So I think this is a really important game for him to just kind of, stick one last nugget in the minds of fans because he missed some time. And up until Friday night, I think Friday night was probably the best game that he played all season, in my opinion. And so up until then, you had kind of a mixed body of work, and this one could really move the needle in either direction.
Prater, what do you think, if Maddox Madson goes into the portal after this game?
What?
Yes, if he does, what type of attention you think he would command? Would he get
He's
any?
not going into the portal.
No, of course not.
No.
But I'm just trying to figure out what level he is. Maybe he is just that Mountain West G6 level quarterback and that's it. Don't ever ask him or expect him to beat a big team like Washington. Or, can he? Is he ready? I mean, his stats are pretty darn good. 50 touchdowns to 16 picks career, 34 games under his belt.
Sub 60% passing percentage.
61.1.
Does that include this year?
Yeah.
Which is sub 60%.
Yeah, this year he's 59.1.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of interest he would have. Probably not all that much. I get it. He's very bumpy as a quarterback. But if he beats Washington, now people aren't going to go on and say, okay, bring on the Ducks. We're good. They won't. But they won't necessarily go through the entire offseason bashing their quarterback. And guys, if Boise State gets smoked, or I don't even care what the score is, if Maddux stinks, they're going to bash their quarterback the entire offseason. And anytime you even try to bring up the excitement of opening the season in Eugene, you're going to get a big fat one, a big fat butt that's going to say, but we don't have a quarterback. Or Madsen is 0-4 against P4s now. I think that what the list will be. Michael Forrest, he lost to Oregon, he lost to Notre Dame, and he lost to Penn State.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff's been made this week about the P5 record and Spencer Danielson's P5 record and Maddox Madsen's P5 record, but you can't blame those two dudes. This is a Boise State problem. Boise State's lost 9 consecutive Power 5 games, dating all the way back to the Florida State game. That was well before Spencer Danielson, well before Maddox Madson. So yeah, you can add those guys to the list, but I don't think it's fair to say that Spencer Danielson has a P4 problem. I don't think it's fair to say that Maddox Madson has a P4 problem. I think Boise State has a massive P4 problem, and those two dudes are getting sucked into it. But that doesn't get away from what your narrative is in terms of the offseason, because fans are that way. And I get it, man. Fans can be really flaky, especially when it comes to their quarterback. And Maddox Madson probably doesn't get a fair share of a deal, but I also can see the sides of the fans that have given him crap all the time because he's so inconsistent. His stats are not that great. Even when he has an MVP performance, last week he threw for 54%. He did other things to win a football game, a very important football game, and he was named MVP for all the right reasons. I voted for him, but he completed 54% of his passes in an era where people are completing 70 plus.
Yeah.
So Maddox Madson's never going to get a free pass, but if he can put together 2 championship performances, he's going to buy a lot of stuff. Maybe he can get back onto social media. He deleted all of his social media. He goes to his mother right now. He goes home to his fiance at night, and she probably shows a picture of him, and he says, I don't want to see it,
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with that nonsense. It would be nice for him to get on Instagram and have some fun with life and whatever, but this offseason, his entire narrative will be based on what happened Saturday night.
I also think, because we've talked about how this wide receiver room has just been abysmal this year, I think that if Maddox Madson can have a good game with a subpar wide receiver room, then maybe it makes Boise State say, hey, let's empower this guy a little bit more in the offseason. Let's get him some more help. And you probably want to do that anyway, regardless of who the quarterback is.
Yes.
That's a different conversation.
Yes.
But I think that you probably look, and listen, they love to tout their developmental program status and all that stuff that feels like lip service because they say it so much. But if you have a quarterback that has a lot of years under his belt, who you can empower with a better wide receiver room next year, and he, again, gives you this kind of launching pad, send off into the offseason, you just have to feel better about what next season looks like, because I think have gotten sucked into throughout the course of the season thinking like, well, next season they're just going to do the same thing and they're going to retain players and Maddox Madson's going to come back and they're going to say, well, everybody's a year older, so that means everybody's a year better. And there's no doubt that they need to change things up in the offseason, which we can address. But I think if Maddox Madson wins you a conference championship and then wins this bowl game, they're like an 8.5, 9-point underdog on Saturday night, then you can at least say, okay, we feel okay about the quarterback. And that's the most important part of the roster.
208-424-9300. What's your text say? 208-424-19. I'm sorry. 208-424-9300. I hope he plays well, but man, I don't know what my hunch is here. I have no idea. I don't know where Washington is. I think they're going to be ready to play in this game.
Defensively is their strength. Defense is their strength.
Yeah, that's what
they're holding.
What
they're holding teams to less than 20 points a game. The offense isn't going to be scary. Can Boise State score 18, 22, 24, 30 points against the defense that's played a pretty good a schedule? Not a great schedule, but a good enough schedule. And they're giving up less than 20 points a game, guys. That's a significant number. And in some of these big games, Madsen has struggled. He had 7 points in all 4 losses this year, 7 points against Notre Dame. And he's played decent in some of these other games, these other big games, but not great. Penn State, 14 points. Notre Dame, last year, Oregon is an outlier, 34 points. And Ashton Genty had a big part of that last year. So he has struggled to play. I think Maddox Madson is going to be, I don't know. Why would I even think about guessing and speculating on what he can do? He's so up and down and so inconsistent. I think that's part of the reason why we struggle with Maddox Madson, just the inconsistencies. Put together back-to-back games and give us a little hope.
There was kind of a narrative going around. This was after like the San Diego State loss, okay? Just the rock bottom moment of the year. And just people I were talking to were not enthusiastic at all about going into Eugene with Spencer Danielson, Nate Potter, and Maddox Madson as the brain trust there. But that's exactly what it's going to be. It's not going to be anything else unless one of the 3 leaves on their own accord. Spencer, none of these freshmen are going to come in and beat out Mad Dog. That's going to be ridiculous to even think. He is so far ahead of them in quarterbacking. He's going to win the gig next year, I would imagine, and go to Eugene. And it's just crazy. I mean, they have Memphis right after that at home. Those are their next 3 games. Washington, Oregon, and Memphis. And Memphis is about as close to a power you can get from a G6 team. And we will see, man. And this could be quite the buzzkill going into the season. If this is like, Prater, the last time Boise State played Washington in a bowl game in 2019, that was the Hank Bachmeier, Jalen Henderson fiasco. If it's bad like that again, yeah, this is going to be a major buzzkill for the fan base this off season. Every time you talk about Maddox Madson, they're going to be like, I don't know. It's never going to go away from a certain amount of people in this fan base. 208-424-9300. Next time you're out, I don't care the restaurant, Prater, they better ask for some Blue Ice vodka.
We got a holiday campaign brewing, guys, and we're going to hit you with some of the details next week. Blue Ice vodka, we've been telling you about it, a new part of the KTIK family, and it's a really, really cool part of the KTIK family. Went home the other night after the football game and had myself a little Blue Ice vodka huckleberry with a shot of pineapple and maybe a little bit of Red Bull. Are you kidding me? It's absolutely spectacular. Loving what these guys do. 100% authentic, 100% Idaho, 100% Idaho potatoes, 100% Idaho water. This company is spectacular. They have lots of connections in the state of Idaho, and their product is spectacular. Go to the liquor store, go to the bars, go to the restaurants, tell your friends, pick some up, and enjoy the holiday spirits. But do us a quick favor, guys. Do it responsibly and don't drink and drive.
Ty Benefield, he has 3 options after the LA Bowl. We'll tell you what they are and ask you which one would you give him advice to take. That's coming up right on the ball game. It's KTIK The Ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studio, this is